Hello, it is July 15th and it is 11:09 p.m. There's something I have to talk about. It's just the fact that law enforcement has now been breaking a lot of my things. They have already broken my car, the front under part of my car, my fire stick, the charging outlet that I have. A lot of these things are broken, and now law enforcement's even broken my my charger for my laptop. And the only reason that they're doing this is due to the fact that they're getting rejected by these girls, and they want me to basically want me to help them scam these girls. I cannot do that, and the main reason is due to the fact that I'm being scammed by two people myself. I'm being scammed by Miss Deb, who is arguing against me in court, and at the same time she switched her strategy from advertising her daughter to me to now advertising her husband. She can't do Wendy's for herself, which you don't want to know what it meant, and she can't do Ashley's furniture for her daughter, which she was doing until recently. I told her to stop, and now she's doing Will Ferrell for her husband, and we know that her husband's supposed to be Will Ferrell because she was running after me after my brain savant got proven completely on, I mean, it was already proven after August 9, 2022 results came out, but it was proven completely in mid-May 2023. And Will Ferrell, she would use the commercial for Will Ferrell in the PayPal commercial where he would just be like, I just want to pay with you everywhere. So now it's just kind of like yeah, she's moved on from herself and her daughter Ashley to now advertising for her family through her husband in the form of Will Ferrell. And now it's just, you know, her on one side, and she changed her strategy, and then Fur the Greedy Framer changed her strategy as well. Fur the Greedy Framer is now not only advertising for daughter Zara, but she's also advertising for her daughter Ifra. And yeah, like, come on, man. Like, you're arguing against me in court, like both of these people are, that I'm a very bad person and my brain savant should get locked up. And at the same time, they are, at the same time, they're also trying to get me to marry their daughter. I mean, it can't be both. You can't say that I'm a bad person and that you want me to be your son-in-law. It doesn't make any sense. There has to be a different story to it, and there is. The fact of the matter is, these people are both predators. Like any lottery ticket winner that you would read about on YouTube or anywhere else, these people are both predators, and they both found out about my brain savant before I ever told anyone about it. There were So Miss Deb was told in around June 2023, when they did a brain savant test in May 2023 to confirm the results of what had already occurred on August 9th, 2022, and Miss Deb's been running after me for her daughter since. It doesn't matter if her daughter's been married 5 times and she's happily married right now. She will still run after me. The reason is that the brain savants are extremely rare, especially my kind. If you read about, like, if you look at someone like Kim Peek, Rain Man, you would come to figure out that most autistic people that have brain savants are not fully functioning members of society. They are amazing human beings, great people, and yeah, but it's a lot of them are not. And the thing about it is just the fact that, you know, no one else has innovation or focusing. Focusing basically means 2 things. One is that you don't need to take any breaks, and the other thing is that it gives you a robot-like power in your mind where you could crush out all your hormones and other things of that sort of nature, emotions, things of that sort of nature. It's like a robot-like effect focusing is, and it also lets you use your powers for as long as possible. So if it's someone like Daniel Tammet, he has to put his fingers like this, it's because he doesn't have focusing. I don't think so. And so I have instantaneous photographic memory, focusing, and innovation. Focusing and instantaneous photographic memory were both tested on August 9, 2022. They were tested for 6 hours because law enforcement had to lower the air drugging on the flight out of fear that it's going to cause a mid-flight medical emergency. The entire 6 hours, law enforcement so they only had to lower air drugging. They didn't have to take away the energy tools. The energy tools around my ears that are locked right now as well. See, like August 22nd, 2025, these ears were all the way in the back of my head. And my mind, my brain on the inside was like this, instead of it being like this, like how it is right now. So on August 9, 2022, for 6 hours they lowered the air drugging, but like the energy tools were still there, and in fact they locked this up even more. The other thing that they did was they kept hitting my foot like right away here really hard over and over again. But obviously like something happens like that, you know. It's like it was like literally an arm came out of my body for 6 hours. I had all these superhuman powers. I'm not just gonna like not do it for just because they're hitting my foot, you know. Like it's the first time you've ever experienced something like that in your entire life. And for 6 hours, like obviously I took out that textbook and I just started studying. I just studied and studied for 6 hours. I'd never experienced anything like that in my entire life. I remember it was Lippincot's Pharmacology. I just took that thing out on my tablet and I just kept going and going. And I remember like there's even like that lady right next to me. I could tell that even she was like really impressed, like, whoa, this kid is really going at it. But yeah, yeah. And then it was just kind of like, so when the flight landed, they did break my foot. But the good thing is, they were threatening the entire 6 hours. The good thing is I didn't stop studying, and those 6 hours of data are undeniable. The thing about law enforcement is they don't like looking at reality. They don't like staring into it, because if they have to look at it, then they have to tell people about it as well. They can only hide it for so long. You know, it's like, it's really interesting stuff. It's like the UFO files. People want to know about it. Yeah. So like they got a social experiment done in Ireland where it was just like, it was like they told people about it and people just started switching sides. Obviously people switch sides based on money and power, so they're not going to switch sides from the government. They're just going to still suck up to the government and the people in law enforcement. But people would literally come up to me and they would just be like, between you and your stepmother, we're on your side. And literally so many people did that to me that law enforcement were just like amazed, due to the fact that these people, you got to remember, they knew my stepmother and my dad's family for like decades. I just showed up there 2 days ago and they're switching sides. And law enforcement did not like that social experiment at all, due to which they didn't tell anyone about that brain savant test for 6 hours in the US at all, except for one person. That was Miss Deb. So they've been BFFs for a long time. They're pretty close. So basically, yeah. I can't scam any girls. I'm getting scammed myself by Miss Deb and for the Greedy Framer. So it's not possible. Well, anyways, the thing about it is just the fact that both Miss Deb and for the Greedy Framer were both told about my brain savant before I told anyone about it. So Miss Deb was told June 2023 that it's been fully confirmed, and for the Greedy Framer was also told around that time period. Yeah, for the Greedy Framer was told by the Indian government, of course, because she was pretty close to them, because she complained about U.S. law enforcement to them, claiming that someone in U.S. law enforcement was trying to rape and murder her. Anyways, so basically, yeah. And I know this for a fact because at one time they were putting up ads for this one. They were putting up ads for this girl on my YouTube, and they told for the Greedy Framer about it, that these girls are running after me. She got so jealous. She's like, oh, they're just honeybotting him. They're gonna trap him and get him in trouble. And like the Indian government, I remember, put that ad on my YouTube, like, you're getting honeybotted or something. I was like, no, that's not what the story is. You don't know what the story is. And Indian government, obviously, as soon as they did that, like their government found out what the story was. It was my brain savant that law enforcement was going around telling everyone about. Obviously, so like that right now, law enforcement can't be like, how does he know about the brain scanner? Like, yeah, didn't have to be a genius to figure that one out. Yeah, so basically, yep. So Miss Deb was told before I told anyone about it. So it was for the Greedy Framer. I only told people about it after August 25th, 2023. These people were all told beforehand by law enforcement, due to which I knew that they had a brain scanner because they were advertising all these girls and women. So I'm already being scammed by two people, Miss Deb and for the Greedy Framer. They're both predators, and like any lottery winners, bad luck, you know, you always have predators coming running after you, and that's exactly what I have. On the one hand, there are arguing in court that my brain savant should get locked up only because they know that I'm not interested in their daughters. And at the same time, they are at the same time they are at the same time, they're like annoying me, harassing me, running after me, putting ads for their family for me. Like Miss Deb has moved from Ashley's Furniture to Will Ferrell representing her husband to advertise him for me all day and night long. And we know this for a fact because they started with like the Will Ferrell ad with like PayPal, where Will Ferrell would say something like, "I just want to pay with you everywhere." And then further, Greedy Framer has switched from her daughter Zara to Ifra. So now she's advertising two of her daughters to me for a marriage. Like, these people are both predators and they're both scammers. They know that if with all the good people that are like I could go with, even if I did go with their daughter, it would only be due to force of them making false testimonies, exaggerations, and lies against me in court. And it makes no sense for you to be arguing in court that someone's a bad person, and only for you to walk out of that courtroom and tell law enforcement to advertise their daughter to me. Like, no one gives their daughter to a bad person. Clearly, there's a different story here, and the different story is the fact that I have a extremely rare and profitable autistic brain savant that these people know about, due to which they want their daughters married to me. But if they think that they can't get their daughters married to me, then they want to force my brain savant to be completely locked up. You know for a fact that this story has absolutely nothing to do with anything that they claimed. So they claimed November 20th. That was a false testimony that law enforcement knew about before I even went to Russia. They were panicking when I told them about the previous false testimonies. It has nothing to do with any wedding incident that they try to frame me for in 2023, due to the fact that after trying to frame me for the wedding incident, all they've done is run sex schemes and money fraud with everyone, and people that were involved in the wedding scheme, wedding crime, like Assad was narrating in the trial against me just recently, and then he was narrating in the trial against me just recently, and I told the courts, if you investigate the wedding crime, I can guarantee you not only would Assad be present there, he'd be committing the crime, and not only would he be committing the crime the entire wedding, he'd be with the other people who committed the crime, discussing with them the crime that had just occurred, instead of even meeting with the other people in that wedding. I know this for a fact. It's criminal psychology. When you commit a crime, you want to be around the people who committed a crime, and you want to discuss it with them to try to get the weight off your chest. Exactly why this Greedy Framer spokesperson's mother thought that the person fabricating the false testimony with her was a corrupt person in law enforcement, when it was in fact a government informant. I'm sure that people in the government must have been like, how does he know that she confessed the remaining lies to this government informant for the ones that she was going to make after November 20th. And the people in law enforcement probably sweared up and down the hill that we didn't tell him that she confessed the remaining lies even after November 20th. We did not tell him this any way, shape, or form, not even hinted at it. And he knows, and the government would have been just like, how does he know these things? It's really simple. People that commit crimes, when they find other people that they think are of their criminal gang and their own criminal specialty, they're also fabricators, they like discussing it to them. Obviously, they found someone who's their type. They're going to make them feel like what they're doing is not wrong, and they're going to take their weight off their chest to this person. Exactly what Assad, not the Greedy Framer, but just envious. But Assad, what I can guarantee, 100% guarantee that he did this at the wedding. The entire wedding, he would be with the people that committed the crime, getting his weight off his chest. Just like how I was able to predict that the Greedy Framer spokesperson's mother, Ibrahim's mother, confessed to the government informant the remaining lies that she planned on making against me even after November 20th. It's basic criminal psychology. When criminals get together of the same specialty and basis, they end up taking the weight off their chest and discussing it to make themselves feel better about it, like they didn't do something that bad, like try to ruin my life with that false testimony that the Greedy Framer spokesperson's mother was obviously doing. What little did she know that that person that she was telling everything to was actually a government informant and not a corrupt person in law enforcement there to fabricate and frame me. So yeah, that's how I knew. So you know it from like the crimes and stuff, that these people have absolutely no they couldn't care less about anything at all. All that they're really concerned about, they they didn't care about the wedding incident. Okay, they didn't care about anything else. They don't care about their money, sex or money fraud or sex or money schemes. They've been running it with each and every single adult that I've ever known in my entire life. Law enforcement could not care less about anything. Since day one, since 2001, all law enforcement's ever done is run sex schemes with Uncle Joey's in-laws. We know this for a fact because the way they were aggressively trying to help Uncle Joey with the sex scheme at the funeral in 2023 in November was basically looking like it was like a protocol you would give a governor. Like they were all over him, telling him, giving him top-notch intelligence on my whereabouts, what to text me so that they could get like the baby away from me so that I'd be forced to go to the funeral, and they'd advertise their thing. Like the thing that Junaid and Ibrahim the Grady Framer did on July 10th at that night, where Junaid tried to come up in my car camera by getting instructions from law enforcement on the exact moment that he should come out so that he could come out on my car camera. And Ibrahim the Grady Framer did that same night around 8:45 p.m. The reason I knew what they were doing is because they've tried this numerous times with Uncle Joey. Numerous times with Uncle Joey. Basically what law enforcement would do is they would run like a sex scheme ad where they would try to either force me to talk to Uncle Joey over the phone and tell me that he's going to play Uncle Joey from Full House. That's why we call him Uncle Joey. And that you have to help him pretend that, and he's just going to say really nice stuff about himself, like, I used to get you changed and this and that. None of it would be true. Obviously, he would just make things up about himself so that he could run a sex scheme ad for these women, and law enforcement would get him close to the man with the triple brain savant so that he could advertise to these women like, look at this guy, such a nice guy, you should totally sleep with him, sort of thing. They did this numerous times. They tried to force me to go to the funeral so they could run this sex scheme ad over there. I didn't go, and even after then, they provided Uncle Joey with top-notch intelligence on my whereabouts when I was coming back from work one day. Told him the exact moment I would come out, and then they even told him exact moment that he should come out of his car so that he could be seen around me, so they could videotape everything, show it to these different women as like the man who is related to the guy with the triple brain savant, so they could run these sex scheme ads for him with different women. The reason they need to do this for someone like Uncle Joey is because law enforcement's been receiving sex from Uncle Joey's in-laws since the year 2001. This is basically all they've done. So you know for a fact that this investigation has had absolutely nothing to do with any crimes, since the crime like the wedding incident, you know, people like Assad who would be involved, he'd be speaking with the other people in the wedding throughout the entire wedding, discussing the crime. It's basic criminal psychology. He would definitely do it instead of socializing with the other people in that wedding. And it's obviously because he wants to get the chest off his back on the crime that he was involved in and he committed. So he would definitely be with the other people in that wedding who committed the crime with him, instead of spending his time with the anyone else in that wedding. It's the same way that I knew for a fact that Ibrahim the Grady Framer spokesperson's mother has told the government informant about the remaining lives that she was planning on making even after November 20th, 2025. And a lot of people in law enforcement were like, I know for a fact they were a little puzzled, like, how does he know this? We never told him, and they probably went through like my YouTube history and everything to check to make sure that no one told me about it. No one told me about it. The reason I know about that is obviously due to the fact that it's basic criminal psychology. When two criminals meet each other, they like discussing their crimes, and they like taking the weight off their chest, which means that they will tell the other criminal each and every single thing that they are committing, are planning on committing and about to do. So obviously the Grady Framer spokesperson's mother told the government informant everything, thinking that he was a criminal fabricator in law enforcement, when in fact he wasn't. He was a government informant. and she told him everything. And obviously she did, which is why she was advertising her daughter to me on March 9th, 2026, April 6th, 2026. Yes, she was as well. These people are all running scams for money, because she told him, obviously, also the fact that she's only doing this due to envy for money, due to which she moved over to greed for money. So now the thing is, the reason I'm making this video is due to the fact that law enforcement's been breaking my things. They already broke my excuse me, they already broke my car, the front under part of my car. They already broke my fire stick for my TV. They already broke my charging outlet. They are now breaking like numerous other things. They breaking my charger for my laptop. And if you look in my Gmail, just read the Jeanette Journal, you will see that law enforcement's been threatening to break the windshield on my car, and also threatening to break also to slash my tires on my car, only due to not getting any help with their sex scams. I am not interested in these girls. Okay, autistic people, the thing about autistic people you have to understand is, we do not like nerdy people. Like, can you imagine Fogel from Superbad running after like 20 different girls? You know, it's just not how we are, not how we're made, you know. Excuse me, I have no interest in these girls. Okay, and the other thing is, I'm already being scammed by two different women, Fur the Greedy Framer and Miss Deb, and they're both changed their strategies, and they're running after me really fast, really hard. Where the Fur the Greedy Framer now is not only advertising her daughter Zahar to me, but also advertising her daughter Ifra to me. She's advertising both to me, and Miss Deb has now changed her strategy from using her daughter Ashley's furniture to advertise her daughter to me, to now using her husband in the form of Will Ferrell to advertise her family to me. Yeah, these people are already trying to scam me, and obviously, like, even if I did sign a prenup marriage agreement to them for whatever the heck it is that they want from me, it's no secret that I would run away. These people are not good people. They're not good people. For the Greedy Framer, she fabricated November 20th against me. Then she made more lies against me that were already confessed to the government informant before November 20th as being planned lies that the Greedy Framer spokesperson's mother, Ibrahim's mother, wanted help on. So those were lies as well after November 20th. And then she made more lies against me even after that in early April 2026 that were found from the phone conversations retrieved to be complete and total lies, with not one statement being true in any way, shape, or form. These people are not good people. Neither is Ms. Deb. Ms. Deb was only doing this because she wanted me to marry her daughter in 2023 and 2024, and now she thought that I wasn't going with her daughter with my brain savant money that artificial intelligence and law enforcement told everyone about. And now she wanted, like, she was harassing me and torturing me by arguing against me in court and going and creating chaos in court to make sure that my brain savant couldn't get freed, and so no one else's daughter could get the money her daughter couldn't. And she was doing it so much, and like literally there were so many people doing it, and like literally it was like everyone doing it was only doing it for marriage and money. And I knew this for a fact, but there was no way for me to prove it, due to which it was literally like I was having suicidal thoughts because of these psychos. And like thankfully later on, like after creating all that courtroom chaos that Miss Deb created by like arguing court all day and night long that my brain savant should not get freed, and this and that I'm a bad person, and this and that. Thankfully now Miss Deb showed the real motive, which was greed for my brain savant money, because now then starting June 19th, she started advertising for her daughter Ashley to me, who's already married, by the way, not divorced or separated, happily married, clearly showing that she's running a scam and she's obsessed with the money, which is why she was creating all that chaos in courtroom just to make sure that no one else's daughter could get the money her daughter couldn't. Since if she really thought that I was a bad person, she wouldn't be trying to force me to marry her daughter in the first place. And yet Miss Deb was creating so much courtroom chaos against me in the courtroom, with so many of these people who were obviously obsessed with marriage and money doing all of this, that I was literally having suicidal thoughts. And I thought, man, all these people after me, like there's no way I could, anything's gonna work out for me. And yeah, and so basically she created so much chaos against me in court just because she couldn't get the Brain Savant money that she wanted for her daughter. That literally I was having suicidal thoughts, and then I didn't think that she would ever advertise her daughter to me, because they're like that would literally give it away. But I still said it on video that the day my Brain Savant gets freed, she's gonna come back for me, for her daughter. And like, I remember after I said that on video, I would go to the grocery store and people would laugh at me like, who do you think you are? Do you not know her daughter's married? And like, at that time I would get really embarrassed because I would see people laughing at me, and I would just look down because people were laughing at me. But I knew deep down inside that I just wanted to tell this person, like, do you not know there's a lot of money involved? And Miss Deb knows all about it, not from me, through law enforcement. Months before I had told a single person about it. She was told in mid-June 2023. I told people after August 25th, 2023. And so, yeah, all these people are trying to scam me right now, and Miss Deb's just changed her strategy from herself or her daughter Ashley to advertising her husband in the form of Will Ferrell now. And then Fard the Greedy Framer, also Fard the Greedy Framer also has changed her strategy. She's thinking like, he might not go for my daughter Zara, so I'm gonna try Ifrah now. Like, these people know for a fact that there's so many good people on this planet that the only reason I would go with these psychos who sign a prenup marriage agreement scam basically is due to force of these people harassing me in court, and me not having any way to prove to the courts that these people are only doing this out of extreme envy of my Brain Savant money that artificial intelligence told law enforcement about. And law enforcement, despite never doing their job since 2001, only running sex schemes and money fraud, finally found out about my Brain Savant. And what they wanted to do was try to frame me with things like the wedding incident that their BFFs like us had committed, and they covered over it. And to now, the law enforcement wants me to they made me forget what I was going to say. Yeah, law enforcement now, instead of trying to frame me, then what they started doing was running these scams on different women and girls where they would tell them about my Brain Savant and basically have them wait on the side while they would try to run after these girls. And right now it's not working out, because you're basically trying to scam someone else's daughter. And like, everyone has a family member, everyone has a sister, everyone has a daughter, and people don't like it when everyone likes like if you have a family member who's a girl and she's pretty, everyone wants that girl to marry some guy who's like really rich, but like not like some guy who's not. If you're not rich, then wait till you get rich, and when you are, then you could go get her. These people, basically what they do is they go run after other people's daughters, and they make up stories about themselves. Like, they would be like, oh, this guy, he's a CEO. Like for Junaid, they would be like, he's a CEO, and he's a CEO and this and that, blah blah blah, when in fact the truth is someone would just tell them like, he is actually doing the same job as my sister, gets paid the exact same amount as my sister does, never been the CEO, and in fact he loses his job every single year. Even at that time, he's like getting into fights and arguments at his work, and he was probably about to lose it at that time as well, and getting an early retirement many times in his life before, due to which his mother would go bake cookies for my sister and just like start to suck up to her so much because she thought that her son was getting an early retirement, which I'm sure he's probably getting this year, since he hasn't gotten it like previous years, and he's lost his job every single year, so obviously he's probably going to get it this year. But the thing about it is that he's on one hand, and then they want help with running sex schemes for someone like Ibrahim the Greedy Framer, who is a drug addict. He goes and he buys drugs that are basically worse, that have a higher addiction potential than heroin for South Asians, and the way that the drug is metabolized in people of different countries and types, it's basically crystal methamphetamine being made not by a pharmaceutical company but by a drug cartel who does not play by the rules. And I know for a fact they would increase the potency and lower the tolerance so much that the person would have experienced so much euphoria that they would end up overdosing on it at least once a week till they would literally kill themselves. These people, they want me to like advertise for and help them like run these scams on other people's daughters. Just think of it like your own daughter, okay? If you have a daughter, who would you want for your daughter? Would you want Mr. CEO who's getting a retirement and he's not a CEO, he's only getting paid the same amount as my sister, does the exact same work and gets into fights every other day. Do you want him to be running after your daughter, scamming her into sleeping with him, or do you want the drug addict with your daughter? Think of it, your daughter. Think of it like it's your daughter. These girls are vulnerable because they don't live with their parents, and these people in law enforcement are taking advantage of this fact. The older woman that they would like run after, they would have kids that are like literally 2 years younger than me, and they would call the police on them. They would get annoyed, obviously, and they've had the police call on them like at least 5 or 6 times since May 25th, 2026, like less than a month ago, only about a month ago. And so, yeah, like, you're not supposed to be laughing at these things, but the police call thing is kind of funny. The thing is, like, the thing about the girls that are living alone, though, is it's a very scary thought that law enforcement is doing this, and basically it's law enforcement that has had the police call on them at least 6 times since May 25th, 2026. Yeah, which is only about a month ago. They've had the police call on them like at least 6 times, or had threatened to do so. It's really odd that law enforcement is having the police call on them, even in third world countries. It's, excuse me, very unheard of for this kind of behavior by law enforcement themselves. You know it's law enforcement, since law enforcement would basically monitor the phone call while the person would be calling and begging for sex. I know this for a fact because every time they would get rejected, it would be like a sound silence, like zing, like you could just feel it, like these people are in a state of shock, like, because the police, like, getting the police call is not like a small thing. Plus every country in the world is also watching. They're all gonna laugh. Like, we've never experienced this in our country. Obviously, even third world countries, this kind of stuff doesn't happen. Not with law enforcement. Like, law enforcement is supposed to be above and beyond in terms of the law, protecting the people, not harassing them for sex. So basically, yeah. That's the kind of behavior that these people have had since 2001. All they've been doing is running sex schemes with Uncle Joey's in-laws, due to which the November 2023 funeral had happened, crimes, things of that sort of nature. And right now they've already broken like so many of my things. They broke in the front under part of my car. They broke in my charging outlet. They broke my Fire Stick for my TV, and now they've even broken the charger for my laptop. All just so that I can't write in my journal about them getting rejected by these girls, and continuously pressurizing me, trying to force me to scam these girls. I do not want it. Like, I'm not interested. Like, obviously not. And like, if I go close to anyone, like, people are gonna make up stuff about me, like I touched them or did this or did that, and then like after my brain savant gets freed, like I'd be like worried all day that this person's gonna like try to scam me, like how Fire the Greedy Framer is right now, who literally just switched from one daughter to now advertising 2 daughters. Like, lady, I said on June 19th, I do not want your daughter. Like, what part of that do you not understand? I said it really clearly. I told law enforcement, I was like, can you please tell her I don't want her daughter. Like, I do not want her. I'm not interested. And like the next day is June 20th, and she sent me an ad for her daughter Zara again. And like right now she's sending ads for both of her daughters, 2 of her daughters, Zara and Ifra. And like, then you'll have Miss Deb on the other hand. She switched from sending ads for her daughter Ashley, because Ashley is not divorced. She's not separated. She's happily married. So like, she only has one daughter, Miss Deb. Ashley, these people will never advertise someone else's daughter. So if they have like a sister, they're not going to advertise their sister's daughter. Trust me on that. I'll tell you exactly how I know. So like, yeah. So yeah, these people are already trying to scam me, and Miss Deb created all this chaos in the courtroom against me, only for her to now like advertise her daughter in one way or another all day night long. She got a little embarrassed because she was advertising her married daughter to me, who wasn't divorced, she wasn't separated, who was happily married. She would drink coffee with her husband every morning. They would kiss each other goodbye and go to work, and she was advertising that daughter to me. Yeah, so obviously people asked her, like, your daughter, is she married? Yes. Do you have any other daughters? No. Was that the daughter you were trying to get him to marry? Yes. You don't think it's a little odd that you're doing that? You know, like, it's just that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Obviously, it's a scam. They know for a fact that even if I did sign a prenup marriage agreement, it would only be due to force because all these good people and nice people are out there in this world. I'm not going to go with people that are like creating chaos against me in the courtroom due to extreme envy. Obviously not. And if I did, I would only sign it due to force and necessity of like getting these people off my back and stop making exaggerations, lies, and fabrications against me. But yeah, law enforcement is now continuously baking my things. Like they just broke my charger for my laptop after breaking like numerous things of mine. And I don't have that much money to like keep buying these things. And they're also threatening to break my windshield for my car, slashing my tires. Like they just want me to like scam the girls, which is why they put the M&T Together ad on my YouTube all day long. And they want it done for someone like Junaid. Junaid, by the way, is also arguing against me in court that my brain savant should not get unlocked. And at the same time, he is having law enforcement. You can check the evidence on this. The M&T Bank Together is for Junaid. I saw the folder for it at his house, the M&T Bank folder, and law enforcement knows that the M&T Bank folder was at his house on a desk somewhere. Anyways, that's why they've been advertising that for Together for me to scam these girls for Junaid. Like this is not right, you know, and like I'm supposed to be scamming people's daughters for these people, these weirdos to be going around sleeping with them, who literally, Junaid changed his voice. He claims that he's autistic. Autistic people don't do this. They have their own obsessions. Just because you say that you're obsessed with being a knight doesn't mean you're autistic. And then change his look. Like I'm not wearing glasses right now. I don't wear it 24/7, but he would wear it 24/7, even in the bathroom. And like wearing a black sweater instead of blue. Like these people are annoying as heck. Like, and on top of that, now that like their sex addiction hasn't run out, they want me to go and help them like scam other people's daughters. I'm not doing that. Like if it was my daughter, I wouldn't want her scammed. Like a guy comes up to my house and he doesn't have the money. He's like, I'll be a billionaire next year. I'll be like, come back next year. You can have my daughter, depending on what kind of a person you are, you know? Like if like it's just like, you know, it's like these people are just like, he's not a CEO. He's never was. He was doing the same job, earning the same amount as my sister, and even there he was having trouble at work, getting into fights at work every other day. And he told the girls that himself when he got scared that he was gonna lose these girls because whoever told the girls that he wasn't a CEO and he was basically trying to scam them would tell them the entire truth. So he basically went and said it before they would to try to say it in his own way. So the girls actually know about this now, which is why they don't want to sleep with him. All these weirdos, and obviously he's gonna get early retirement. Like look at his history. Like and then he wants me to help him scam these girls. Like I'm not into this. If you want to copy me completely. Like I don't do these things, you know. I don't scam other people's daughters, and I'm not that much obsessed with sex either. Like I'm like, yeah, like imagine Fogel from Superbad. That's like literally what I'm like. Like imagine him running after like 20 people, 20 different girls, other people's daughters, and like knocking on the door and like stuff like that. Like I don't do this. Like it's not my thing. Like even if you gave me their number, I don't want it. Like I've got my own problems in life, and I'm already being scammed by 2 different people for their daughter. So I'm not gonna like. I'm not saying that these people are scam artists. The other ones, except for these two, Miss Dem and Fur the Greedy Framer, obviously are scam artists. Fur is now advertising 2 of her daughters to me instead of just one. And Miss Deb is now using her husband in the form of Will Ferrell to run after me. So for her daughter, obviously, she's too embarrassed to advertise her daughter Ashley with the Ashley's Furniture anymore. So now she's advertising her husband to try to run after me. Yeah, and like all these people are. And like on top of that, you also have someone in law enforcement named Kelly who's been trying to scam me as well. And just like a day ago, Kelly was putting up the ad for Nothing But Cakes, and it was like a birthday ad. It was really sexually provocative. Like, yeah, and it was just like, it was very sexually provocative, and like it was just like, you know, like I'm not interested. Like when my brain savant gets freed, what I want to do is just I'm gonna get my zero tolerance coffee done, obviously first, and it's not gonna take me more than 30 days. If what I said is true, and if what artificial intelligence has said about my brain savant is true, and I am Kim Peek Rain Man, and that's why law enforcement is too scared to do a 30-minute test, because every time they do a 1-minute test, they find out that I am Kim Peek Rain Man, and when the results of the test comes out in 21 days, like it did on December 10th, it comes out that I am Kim Peek Rain Man, which is what artificial intelligence says, due to which they have a girl stalk me and hit the back of my car, ending up forcing me to go to the emergency room. If what I say is true, and I am Kim Peek Rain Man, except I am also a fully functioning member of society, except for being autistic, just some facial features, like I know my mouth, like when I open it's like all over the place and you can see it inside. I know, like I used to talk to people, they would just look inside my mouth like, ew, what is that? But except for that, like I'm a fully functioning member of society. So like if I can do 1,000 pages a day for something like medicinal chemistry, Arenbach's medicinal chemistry, if I'm doing 1,000 pages of that a day, how long is it going to take me before how long is zero tolerance coffee going to run away from me? 30 days? You think it's going to take me more than 30 you think it's going to take me more than 30,000 pages to get zero tolerance coffee done with these kind of powers, considering the fact that from October 2019 till July 1st, 2023, this is all I did from morning till night, from morning till night, just like how I would stare into the History Channel logo when I was a child, 11 years old, which was proven on January 20th, 2026, using their time machine, by the way. I call it the time machine. Ask them how it was proven, they'll tell you. But like how I stared into a textbook from morning till night for 4 years, all day, every day, from October 2019 till July 1st, 2023, clearly proving from facts and evidences that this is the thing that gives me pleasure. Only difference was I couldn't remember anything because they were using severe amnesia drugs on me, but I still love doing it because it gives me an enormous amount of pressure, due to which I just stared into a textbook from morning till night for 4 years, every single day, all day, every day, from October 2019 till July 1st, 2023. If I gain pleasure from it, and this is all I do from morning till night, and I get at least 1,000 pages done every single day of textbooks like Arenbach's medicinal chemistry every single day, how long do you think zero tolerance coffee is going to run away from me for? 30 days, that's 30,000 pages. You think it's going to take me more than 30,000 pages to get zero tolerance coffee done? I don't think so. And law enforcement knows about this fact, especially considering the fact that innovation was also tested for being a brain savant superpower for me, since it was tested a few weeks before April 22nd, 2025. So I was laying in my bed in my room, and they could literally just tell their machine thing, like I call it the time machine, they could just tell it, like artificial intelligence, lock up his brain savant except for the innovation part, and it will do that. I know, because on January 20th, 2026, they told artificial intelligence to lock up my brain savant except for the childhood autistic part, and it just, I felt like I was like a 9-year-old child again. Well, anyways, just ask them what happened on January 20th, 2026. If they're your friend, they'll tell you. Anyways, so with these powers, obviously I'll get zero tolerance coffee done in 30 days. That's 30,000 pages. Easily get it done. I get enormous amount of pleasure staring into textbooks. This is my natural habitat. This is what I do all day long from morning till night. I did it for 4 years from morning till night, from October 2019 till July 1st, 2023. And they have the artificial intelligence data for it, for each and every single second that I did it. And I did it from morning till night, from the moment I would wake up till the moment I would go to sleep at night, because it evolved from me staring into a History Channel logo since I was a 9-year-old child, proven on January 20th, 2026, to now staring at textbooks with superhuman powers. So how long do you think it's going to take me to get zero tolerance coffee done? If I'm doing something like Arenbach's medicinal chemistry every single day, how long do you think it's going to take me? Not more than 30 days. It's not going to take me more than 30,000 pages. Okay, so yeah, after my brain savant gets freed, and after I get my zero tolerance coffee done, you can argue all you want, but law enforcement cannot, because if you don't have the guts to look at reality for 30 minutes using a 30-minute brain savant test, then you don't have the right to argue if it's going to take me 30 days or 100 days to get zero tolerance coffee done, because I waited 25 days in Moscow, Russia, right near the Kremlin, where I could see the 3 golden globes of the Kremlin from my hotel window, and these people were pissing their pants after November 14. And when the results came out for November 14, they had a girl stalk me till she hit the back of my car and made me end up in the emergency room. So yeah, the results on 21-day result did come out saying that I was Kim Peek Rain Man. Okay, how long do you think it's going to take me 30 days? Obviously, if you want to argue against it, you can't be law enforcement, because if you're law enforcement, then you got to do the 30-minute test first. If you don't have the guts to stare into the reality's eye for 30 minutes, then you don't have the right to say if it's going to take me 30 days or 100 days to get my thing done, especially when after the 21-day results come out for my brain savant test, you have a girl stalk me, told she hits the back of my car. Obviously, she knew. Artificial intelligence report said the obvious. This guy is Kim Peek Rain Man on the 1-minute test. If you do a 30-minute test with this guy, artificial intelligence told them he's going to run you over up and down the hill. You're not going to win with this guy. He is Kim Peek Rain Man. So basically, yeah, after my brain savant gets freed, I don't want any of these girls, first of all. I just want to, like, I want to get my zero tolerance coffee done, and when I get that done, I want to go to a really nice house in Colorado and just look outside at the snowy mountain and, like, drink on my coffee or orange juice or something, you know. It's just that sort of thing. I have no, like, for a little while I just want to be by myself. Obviously I like being by myself. So yeah, that's what I want to do. I don't want, like, worry. I don't want to, like, after all of that, I don't want to be worrying about someone else trying to scam me, claiming that I tried to touch them or something, when in fact it would just be law enforcement trying to get me to scam someone's daughter, which I would never do, for their sex addiction, okay, which is what law enforcement is trying to get me to do right now, which I'm not going to do, okay. It's totally wrong. You can't do that. If it was your daughter, you wouldn't want that, would you? You would want her to be with a really rich guy who would be a good person, okay, not with these lowlifes in law enforcement, or the people like Junaid trying to scam them with these stories that are just not true. And then Junaid would add up to that story. He'd be like, I wasn't going to tell people that I was a CEO, but now that they know, it's okay. Like, stuff like that, like, totally, like, made up stories, like, and you're adding up lies on top of that, like, just to scam someone else's daughter, when you know that if it was your own household girl, like, you would be crying tears of blood. Like, how the heck did you go and scam her? Like, you should tell the truth to people instead of doing this. Or the other guy, Ibrahim the Greedy Framer, who's not taking, like, prescription medications or anything like that. He goes and buys street drugs that are obviously, like, have so much addiction potential that he's literally, like, there's no way he doesn't overdose at least once a week and ends up in the emergency room due to it. It's just not possible. Same with any drug addict out there who buys street drugs, you know? It's that sort of thing. I'm not scamming someone's daughter for these people, okay? And I want a new charger for my laptop. They just broke my laptop charger after breaking my car, Fire Stick for my TV, and my charging outlet, only because they're getting rejected by these girls and they want me to help scam them. I'm not talking to any girl out there. I have enough problems of my own. I'm being scammed myself. All right, Miss Deb and Fur the Greedy Framer are trying to scam me, and they both changed their strategies. I'm not scamming someone else's daughter. I'm not interested. And yeah, I want a new charging charger for my laptop. They broke that as well now.